All right, so I'm going to show you guys um, why you shouldn't connect to public Wi-Fi signals and what is possible and what kind of devices are being used by malicious actors to basically log your credentials, your Gmail login, or maybe even your Starbucks account. So basically, um, I'm going to show you guys a device called the Wi-Fi Pineapple, and it's sold by a company called Hack5. This is what it looks like, okay? And I'll explain what its purpose is and why security penetration testers use this to analyze and test the security of a company's wireless setup, basically. It's okay. So basically, first of all, Wi-Fi Pineapple, super cool. It costs about $200 for one of these, and it's used by security professionals to test the security or engage in a pen test against maybe a company that has contracted them to test the security of their Wi-Fi. So in order to do that, you basically have to break into their Wi-Fi or at least attempt to. And these companies will contract you under a legal contract and give you permission to test out the security of their wireless environment. A couple of things that this thing can do. So it can create fake AP access points that may say free Wi-Fi. It might say McDonald's free Wi-Fi. It might say Starbucks free Wi-Fi. It can be named whatever you want. You can name the signal, and you can get these portals that basically they are fake phishing portals. They look exactly identical to a real Google login, a real Starbucks login. Um, it can use any type of a login portal, and you can create a Wi-Fi signal that and name it anything. And attackers can go to a public place and they can use this to log people's Gmail accounts. Um, there's a couple things that it can do. So it can do that, right? And then it can also so your cell phone, right? Your cell phone at all times is giving out, it's broadcasting the names of all the SSIDs that you've connected to ever. Your phone keeps a record of every single Wi-Fi network that you have connected to, and it constantly broadcasts that so that way your phone can connect to the Wi-Fi signals that it's connected to before. So basically, um, your phone's always looking for Wi-Fi signals that it's previously connected to, and it will broadcast the names of these signals and connect to these signals that it's previously connected to, right? And your phone's always looking for it. So what the Pineapple does is it tricks your phone into giving it the list of SSIDs that it's connected to before. And then it starts to broadcast them. And then your phone gets confused and says, oh, I've connected to that before, to that signal. Let me just connect to that. Because when you're walking around here, you might be outside, and then when you come home, your phone just automatically connects to your network because it's previously connected to it before. It's a trusted network. And it keeps a list of those signals that it's connected to before, and it automatically will connect to them as you get near them. So that's how that works. So the Pineapple will steal all those SSIDs from your phone because it's constantly broadcasting it, looking for these signals, and then it'll broadcast those signals, and then your phone will connect to it. And then once your phone connects to it, now the Pineapple acts as a man-in-the-middle attack. So it can see all your traffic, everything you do. When you log into something, It might get your cookies, stuff like that. Um, there's a number of attacks that can be initiated once your phone or your device has connected to the pineapple, and your phone or device thinks that it's a safe signal that it's connected to before. So it might even kick you off of the one you're using, force you to connect to it as an SSID or a Wi-Fi signal that it's connected to before, and then it'll be monitoring your traffic, or it might redirect your traffic. So when you go to log into, your Gmail, it redirects you to a phishing page, and when you log in, I get your credentials. So this is why it's dangerous to use public Wi-Fi signals, because it might look legitimate, you know, and you might be at McDonald's and you'll see McDonald's free Wi-Fi. You'll go to connect to it, and it'll ask for your Gmail to log in. And if you do that, I would have your credentials on the other side. So I'm going to show you guys how that actually works and do it live to demonstrate it. And then I'm going to show you a tool that can be used to search and find Wi-Fi pineapples and basically stop the attack from happening. It'll send de-authentication packets to that device and stop you from your phone or any other device from being able to connect to it. It'll kick you off. And that's basically how you can defend yourself against these attacks. Number one, don't use public Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Because it might not be a legitimate signal. And you'll be able to use Wi-Fi when you're on it because the device itself connects. I can connect that to a network, so as internet, and then put up a fake signal that says, McDonald's free Wi-Fi. You connect to it, log in through your Gmail. I got that. And now I can monitor your traffic and see everything you're doing. And I can redirect you. I can be a man in the middle, right? Man in the middle attack using the Wi-Fi pineapple. So it has many different purposes, but it's not obviously meant to be used maliciously. That's against the law. So if you were to use this, obviously, again, with no permission and against somebody that doesn't know, right, you're committing a crime. So these things are not illegal to have. They're legal, and they're meant for security penetration testers to test the security of the wireless environment for companies or for individuals. And obviously, if I want to get involved in cybersecurity and penetration testing, ethical hacking, then I'm going to have to get these types of devices, learn how to use them, so that way, in the future, when I gain some certifications and stuff, and I look for employment, I know how to do these things because the wireless environment is one of the most important things. Yeah. So basically, I'll show you guys what it looks like on the back end. So you're able to log in to the Wi-Fi pineapple, and you can see all the controls and everything that you need to do, or everything that you can do. One of the things also that you can do is you can scan, right? Scan all the networks in the area, and you can actually see information about these signals and networks to see what level of security they have. See if it's low security or if the security is good on that wireless network, right? By the way, a lot of this stuff I'm just learning right now, and I'm basically teaching you guys what I'm learning. But you might have seen, on when you're looking for Wi-Fi, a whole bunch of networks flash. You see, your phone's trying to connect to all of them, right? That would be a karma attack, and that's what I just described to you, where it basically takes your phone, basically gives it a list of SSIDs that it connected to, and then it broadcasts them, tricks your phone into connecting to it, and then boom, I got you, right? Yeah, it's crazy. So you might have seen that before. You might have seen like on your phone, or like you might something's bugging out, something's weird, something's off. Seeing all these different signals showing themselves, and they're all open. They're not like locked. You know what I mean? And your phone just keeps trying to connect to them all. So this is why, if you're worried about stuff like that, it's good to learn how to do this stuff, because you can obviously stop these attacks, and I'm going to show you that as well, how to stop these attacks. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, so I am logged on to the Wi-Fi Pineapple, and how you do that is the Wi-Fi Pineapple will also give off a signal that you can call whatever. It could be like Bell 1234, Rogers 1235, whatever, right? It'll just, you can make it look like a normal Wi-Fi signal, and you can log into this with the password that you created in order to manage and control the Wi-Fi Pineapple. So I've connected to its Wi-Fi signal and logged in through its IP address, and so I created a signal that says Starbucks free Wi-Fi. I'll show you guys that in a second. So it's right here, Starbucks free Wi-Fi. As you can see, I'm going to switch over to my phone and go to try to connect to this signal. It's not locked or anything, it's open, and it will ask me, it'll come up, actually I'll show you right now, so I can preview the portal. So this is what you're going to see when you connect to that signal. It's just going to ask you to log in or sign in using your Gmail. Now, I could deactivate this one, and I can activate any one of these. See, you can make a Facebook portal, McDonald's, Yahoo, Starbucks, Instagram login, Twitter, Google, so on and so forth. So I will activate the Starbucks login, since it's called Starbucks free Wi-Fi. And look, like, you can't tell at all that this is fake. And if I put my credentials in that and hit accept, whatever, like test@gmail.com, I'll just type password for the password, and then you would like hit accept. Don't worry about any of that stuff. That's just my own computer tweaking. You have not, and it says you have not been authorized, so you don't even get on, right? But you're still connected to it. It says that you haven't been authorized, but I just logged your credentials, and if you go to view log, you can see right here, email test@gmail.com. The password was password. That's what I typed. It'll tell you the name of the computer, the MAC address, and the IP address assigned to the device that logged in, which is locally. This is not a public IP, so it doesn't matter if this gets leaked or anything like that. It's not the IP that you're thinking of. There's public IP, and then there's a local IP connected to your device. The public IP is what you want to hide. Anyways, as you just seen, I just demonstrated that actually, so I won't even have to go onto my phone, but you clearly saw, right? I connected to a signal that called Starbucks free Wi-Fi, right? And when you connect to it, it'll automatically open up that portal. So let's just see if that works. Might not work because I'm already logged into the okay, so it didn't pop up the portal because I'm already logged in to the Pineapple, so that makes sense. Let me see something real quick. But anyways, that's, as you can see, it's connected. It would have, if I wasn't already connected to the Pineapple, it would have opened up this portal right here, which I guess maybe I will just demonstrate a little video clip on my phone of that happening, just because that didn't go the way I wanted it to, because I'm already logged in. I'll show you around a little bit on here. So I'm going to, after I show you the demonstration of that, I'm going to show you guys the karma attack, where basically it tricks your phone into giving it all the SSIDs that it's connected to before, which will be listed in here. And then the pineapple will broadcast that out. The phone will pick it up and automatically connect to the signal. So, your phone just got tricked to connect to a malicious Wi-Fi signal, which might open up that Gmail login, and you might not even know what happened, and just put your credentials in. And then I'll show you how, when you're looking at the signals on your phone, how you can identify that this attack is actually happening. And then also, I'm going to show you a tool that can be used to de-authenticate the attack, to basically knock the attack off so it's not going to work. So it'll basically attack, identify, and then attack the Wi-Fi pineapple, its AP points, and it will de-authenticate them so that way no victims can connect to the signals. So it completely demobilizes the attack. Hence why I show people how this stuff works, because once you are able to identify what this is in this way, then it's easier to defend yourself. You know what I mean? And it's worth it to learn this stuff, because think about it. If this were happening to you, if you were able to use Kali Linux, which if you guys join my Patreon below, and I see that you become a standard member of my Patreon, then I'll be showing you guys how to do this stuff. So that way you can learn how to secure yourself, how to secure others, and there's, learning this stuff can lead to a really fulfilling career. It's a really rewarding career. It's really hard. It's difficult stuff. But if I can do it, you can do it. You know what I mean? And it's worth it. It's worth learning. Cyber attacks are becoming more and more common. This type of attack is becoming more and more common as these devices are being more publicized. People are picking up on these things. It's difficult for just some normal person that doesn't understand Kali Linux or how to use Kali Linux would not be able to even install the firmware on this to use it. They wouldn't be able to, because they wouldn't know how to use the language to communicate with it. You need to learn Linux, and you need to learn Kali Linux commands, and you need to become fond of that, and it's easier if you have somebody to help you do this stuff. So that's why I created basically a course or a membership that you guys can join, and that I can teach you how to do this stuff. Anyway, so let me see. So as you can see, the Open AP says Starbucks free Wi-Fi, right? So I can change that to whatever I want. I can say McDonald's, and then once I change that, then I can go over here to the McDonald's portal and activate the McDonald's portal instead of the Starbucks, right? And if I want to log somebody's Gmail, then I can just activate the Gmail login portal, right? Just looks like it's just legitimate. You can't tell, So this is why you probably shouldn't use public Wi-Fi, and especially if it asks for stuff like that. But it's actually common for this to happen. To sign in to other accounts and other things with your Gmail. I'm sure you've done that before, right? Whatever it may be. What could I use as an example? I'm sure you've had to sign into something other than your Gmail using your Gmail account, right? It's becoming more and more common, and it'll become more common in the future. But anyways, let me show you guys basically an example of how the karma attack works. How to see that it's happening, which, like I said, it's going to be broadcasting all the SSIDs that your phone has connected to. Any phone that comes near within this whole radius right now, obviously I can set filters so that way other people can't mistakenly connect to this right now and accidentally hand over their credentials, right? Because that's where it becomes illegal. You can set filters so that way only your device that you've set, its local IP, can connect to these signals. So that way no one else is being affected by me using this device right now to basically teach you guys how this stuff works, right? They won't be able to connect to any of the things. It's not going to get their phone to connect or anything like that because I've filtered out all devices except for my device is the only device that's allowed to connect to this Pineapple AP. Or else people right now could be connecting to this and logging in with their Gmail and not know what's going on. which obviously I wouldn't do that because that's illegal. It's against the law. You know what I mean? Like I said, this stuff is rewarding to learn, and there's a career involved, right? Obviously, it's people are going to be people are going to commit crime regardless. People are going to use these techniques and are already to maliciously, you know, attack people that are not knowing of this, right? So, but the more rewarding path obviously is to you do this ethically and legally, so that way you can have a career, you can get employed, you can make a lot of money doing this, you know what I mean, and not go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot more worth it to take the ethical approach and learn this stuff legally, utilize it legally to improve and enhance and learn security. That's the point of going through this process. It's called red team. There's a red team and a blue team. The red team is the security penetration testing team that gets contracted by a company to try to break into their company to find the ways in before malicious actors find the way in, right? And because then you can patch that exploit, you can find it, fix it, and stop attackers getting in through that way, right? And then there's a blue team, and they're on the other side monitoring, trying to stop attacks before they get in, analyzing traffic and basically seeing if there's any suspicious things going on, basically to stop the attacker to get in, right? So there's a red team and a blue team. The blue team's the defensive side. The red team is like, they're going in, right? And companies will pay you huge amounts of money if you can get into their company in any way, through the network, through plug in a USB. If you can, they'll pay you to break in physically. So it's a crazy career. Like, imagine how fun that would be, legally allowed to break into a building by cloning someone's fob key, by just walking by them, and you collect it. Boom, now you can log in, or you can get in through the door, get inside, plug a USB in, boom. They pay you 60 grand. Like, you just infiltrated their company. It's high risk. You have full access as an admin. You know what I mean? But there's ways to secure these things, right? So anyways, that's the purpose of these tools. They're not meant to be used maliciously, right? Or get into the hands of the wrong people. And most people that are trying to do that, like, maliciously, are not going to have the patience to learn Linux, learn Kali Linux, learn all the fundamentals to get to this point to be able to use these tools. Because no average Joe person is just going to buy one of these and use it. You're going to waste $200. You're never going to figure out how to use it because it's not what you think. You know what I mean? And if you don't know Linux commands and you don't know Linux, you can't use. It's not going to work for you. You know what I mean? So you got to learn the fundamentals, and you got to be in it for the right reasons, right? But people need to know this stuff exists, and that this can happen, right? Like, when I started learning this stuff, it just blew my mind. Like, I was just like, it changed my whole perspective on life. So I was like, man, how are people not knowing about this? Like, I need to learn this shit, and I need to teach people this stuff. Specifically, certain people that I can relate to, that I want to show this stuff, that I think are at risk the most, that need to know this stuff. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? So anyways, let me get into this. Okay, so I started the karma attack, so we should start seeing Wi-Fi signals flashing. There's one. Okay, so it's mocking all of the Wi-Fi signals in the area, impersonating them to trick your phone into connecting to them, which is typically signals that you've already connected to, or it'll just mock every signal in the area and clone it, so that way everyone in the area is going to see, their phones are going to be connecting to signals that they've already connected to before, and that's it. You've been compromised. You see how there's no lock on this one, the setup. now there's a VPD, there's no lock, right? If I were to connect to that, my phone has now connected to a malicious access point, right? Your phone will automatically connect, your devices will automatically connect to these because these are SSIDs that your phone is connected to before, or it's impersonating the signals around you. And that's basically how it works. So if you see this, right, like you see all these different signals that don't have locks on them, and they keep coming, they just keep coming, right? See, it's mocking, cloning signals in the area. You can tell that obviously something is not right, because all these signals should not be flashing and showing with no lock, where you have to, log in with a password. And if your phone is like connecting to them like crazy, then you know that this attack is actually being initiated. Like I said, when you guys, join my Patreon and you want to take this stuff seriously, you want to learn this stuff, you want to learn how to do it, you want to learn how to defend yourself against it, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do that. But you have to join my Patreon, and you have to join the standard package, right? If I'm going to be investing my time and energy into this, right, for people that are serious, obviously they're people that join my Patreon I know are serious, right? And I'm going to dedicate my time and energy to teaching you how to do this stuff, how to defend yourself against it, and work with you one-on-one, right? So yeah, anyways, that's how these attacks work. All right, so now that we got that covered, let's see how can we defend ourselves against this. We've learned about the Wi-Fi pineapple, what it's capable of doing, how to identify these attacks, why not to use public Wi-Fi, and now we need to learn how to basically stop this attack or defend yourself against this attack. This is one way of doing it, but it requires obviously you to know how to use Kali Links, which I would teach you how to do that if you join my Patreon. Also, you will need a wireless adapter capable of monitor mode and injection mode. It's a specific type of adapter. I'll help you figure that out if you want to learn how to do this stuff. Don't freak out, don't panic. They cost like $40 to $60, so it's not that big of a deal. And with it, you can use it for wireless penetration testing, basically to learn how to hack Wi-Fi. So you can obviously use these things against your own network. There's ways to set filters so that way nobody else connects to the pineapple and accidentally puts their credentials in. So that way you're testing this stuff securely without compromising anybody else or having their devices maliciously connect to the pineapple, the Wi-Fi pineapple. So once you have one of these adapters, you'll be able to do wireless penetration testing the security of your own network. If you use it against someone else's network and you hack their Wi-Fi, it's against the law. It's illegal, and you can go to jail and you can get like 10 years for that. So it's like not a joke, you know what I mean? So don't use it on other networks. When I was first starting out learning this stuff, I was really like not aware of what I was doing, and yeah, could have got into some trouble. So let's just put it that way. And now that I know what I'm doing, I know how to do this properly, and now I know the severity of these things, I'm a lot more careful. And, like I said, there's ways to do this without compromising anybody else maliciously. So this is a tool. It's called the Wi-Fi pineapple detector, and it's used to detect the Wi-Fi pineapple, the attacks, and send deauthentication packets to the AP points to stop it, so that way nobody can connect to it. So you're basically attacking them back. So, but you would need one of these adapters. Hold on. Alpha is a company. It's just a USB. It says Alpha. It's got two antennas on it. Hold on. Wrong way. Boom. It's just a USB stick. It's a wireless adapter. Alpha is the company. You can look into it. Monitor mode and injection mode. Not any Wi-Fi adapter will do this at all. You need a specific type that has monitor mode and injection mode, and they're rare, hard to find. Alpha sells them. Again, you're not gonna be able to use this or use Kali Linux to hack Wi-Fi until you learn how to do this stuff from somebody that knows what they're doing, or else it's gonna take you 10 years to learn the fundamentals to get to this point where you could potentially do stuff like this. But if you join my Patreon and you learn from me, I can fast forward that process pretty fast and have you in the same day be able to do this. But I would navigate you through it, and over time of repetition, you would learn how to do it on your own without even learning the fundamentals. And later, when you grow a stronger passion for this stuff, then you can learn the fundamentals on your own. Anyways, let's start this. Okay. So it's going to start searching for the pineapple. It's going to identify the beacons and then start the attack against it to basically stop anybody from being able to connect to it. Takes a minute. There we go. So pineapple module activity was detected, MAC address, and it identifies this attack because you'll see one MAC address broadcasting multiple SSIDs, which are Wi-Fi signals. Fake AP count, it's counted 9. So at the moment, there's 9 different fake APs that phones could potentially be connecting to. Now it says attack has completed because it's de-authenticating. It's attacking the pineapple and it's making it so people can't connect to it. So, and that's basically it. Yeah, if you're interested in learning more about this stuff, join my Patreon. The link will be in the description or pinned in the comments. But yeah, man, and you can learn this stuff. You can learn how to protect yourself, secure yourself, and secure businesses, companies, enterprises, your friends, and also, with permission, you can test this out, whatever, against your friends and family, and it's cool. Could you imagine, if you could, hack your mom's Wi-Fi or your dad or your friend or something like that, and then, I bet you I could do it. I bet you $100 I could do it. And they're like, yeah, right. And then you know what I mean? Like, as long as you have permission, obviously, you can do that. Or you can help test their network, see if it's vulnerable, see if you can get into it. And if you can, then you can teach them how to basically patch that, fix it so that way nobody else, no malicious hackers can get in. So that's the idea behind why you would want to learn this stuff. Anyways, I'm out. Share this video, hit up the Patreon. As soon as you join, I'll see your name and I'll hit you up right away and we'll get to it, man. We'll get you set up with Kali Linux and we'll learn this stuff together. Anyways, I'm out.